Welcome back everyone to another episode of Battle of the Bosses. We're here with Juventus, this time mid-season, so part number 2. I'm Tuna here with Elmo as always.
Hi guys.
And we're going to find out how the season is going so far, halfway through. First of all, before we go anywhere, you know what to do if you enjoyed this, like, subscribe, and go and check out Elmo's video, linked down below in the description as well. And go and like and subscribe over there as well. So we've done half a season. Obviously, the first update we didn't really have anything. We played a couple of games at most.
I got like three,
Yeah,
two.
so we've played a lot now because a lot of this season actually happens in the first few months. Um, you get to the end of the season, the games are spaced out, so we've played an awful lot. And that's not the only thing we've done an awful lot of. We've done an awful lot of transfers as well. You can see here my outgoings. Quite a few, and a lot of them on permanents as well. So let's start from right at the beginning of January. Of course, I had 60 million, 60 to 70 million, I can't remember exactly, in the bank still from the summer window after selling Dybala. Still a bit gutted about that one. I really like Dybala. We sold Mattia Perrin to Shakhtar for £1.8 million. Backup goalkeeper. He was never going to play. Yes, his value is very, very high.
Decent as well.
I'm pretty sure his
Stat.
value was not that high when I sold him.
No, it won't have
Um,
been.
but yeah, so he was never going to play, so why not bring in some money for him? Next up to Roma for £10 million, Federico Benedeschi. He was a player that I'd enjoyed, to be honest with you. He was a pretty good little player. Fair few times for me. I think he's made a couple of appearances for Roma since travelling over there, transferring over there. He's a player that's very, very versatile, but again, he wasn't probably getting used as much as he should have been, and he wanted out. So yeah, we agreed to sell him. A bit disappointed it's to a rival in the league, but when they're the only team that make a bid for him, there's not much you can do really. Then we sold Daniele Rugani to Sevilla for 5 million. Centre back, again, pretty decent little centre back. Juventus have some really good defenders. They've got solid defenders, but he was probably the weak link for me. He hadn't played at all for me this season. Not for, anything to do with him. I just didn't really fit into my team. The players that were playing ahead of him were just better than him. So he ended up moving to Sevilla for 5 million. A couple of loanees, Briganti to Catania and Davide Di Marino to Vibonense. Don't really know either of them. They were from the youth teams, so they've gone out on loan, same as Berenecchia to Udinese. A little bit of incomings for them as well. Albion Hajdari to Everton for £1.4 million. Again, a young centre-back, just based on what the coaches had told me about his current abilities, potential ability, he was never going to make it at Juventus. So we cashed in on him, and we sort of hope he does bad at Everton and ruins them, but we'll see. Felix Bielkin to Udinese for just under £500,000 with add-ons. Again, a young defender, he's never going to be good enough for the team. So we cashed in on him as well, sold him on. Probably could have got a little bit more for him, but I just sort of wanted him gone. Then one of the big sells, Adrian Rabiot to Tottenham for £35 million. Again, one of these players, very, very good player, can play centre back, pretty much all the way for the centre. There's a reason I sold him and a couple of players coming up as well. I'll get to them in a minute. A bit disappointed to lose him, but again, he probably wasn't playing as much as he probably should have done with my signing of Bellingham in the summer. And I had a lot of midfielders, so I had to get rid of some. He wasn't on the transfer list or anything. Tottenham put in a bid. We negotiated up to 35 million. I think they offered 25 at first. And yeah, so he just, again, wasn't playing enough, so we got rid of him. Marliake to Torino for 150 grand, and Tommaso Barberi to Benevento for 125 grand. A couple of young players again. We're never going to be good enough for the squad, so we got rid of them. Rodrigo Bentancur to PSG for 25 million. Again, a very, very good player. He actually had played an awful lot for me this season. Sold him for a reason. Sort of backfired. I probably could have got more money for him. We had a bit of a disagreement, a tiny one, about his contract. He wanted a new contract. I wasn't willing to give him one. God, did he let me know about it?
You do have this thing for like you're an awful man manager.
Well, yeah, but he's under contract, so he can have a new one under it.
If you're not fighting with players, you're fighting with other opposition managers.
Well, yeah. I mean, Jose Mourinho is in Italy. Spoiler alert, I think he's actually been sacked on my saves. So, and then the final sale was Carlo Pinsoglio to Spartak Moscow, 425 grand. Again, backup goalkeeper. He was never going to play. So, bye. And then I've brought one player in. Alphonso Davies, left back from FC Bayern, £115 million, rising up to 143. £75 million of this is in instalments. I was going to say extensions then, it's not, it's in instalments. £28 million is based on appearances and winning the Coppa Italia. This is where it gets interesting. Alphonso Davies is Canadian. Italy has a limit on non-EU players. I went over that limit, hence me selling Bentancur. It apparently does not matter. He's still ineligible. He cannot play for the rest of the season. He can play in the Champions League. I've got him for the Champions League. Perfect. He cannot play a league game.
That's brilliant.
I honestly thought, because any other league where they got foreign player rules, you can sell one and register a new one. So I just assumed it was the same. It's not the case. It's not the case at all. So £115 million and a player that can't play for me apart from potentially 2 games.
In place of Alphonso Davies, you could play Ben. Oh no, you can't. Can you?
No.
Oh, dear.
No. I won't lie. I was tempted to reload to a previous save before I sold Bentancur, and I'm like, no, we'll go with it. I'll admit my mistake.
That money though, that spending, that outgoing.
I've spent £372 million. I mean, I haven't, because 20 million of that before I got here.
You've spent 350 million
yeah.
on 3 players.
I do still have,
and you can only play 2 of them.
17 million. I still have 20 million to spend. I didn't change it. Yeah, I did. So,
why don't you buy another player that you can't play?
Yeah, I might go and buy Brazilian next. Why not? So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, look at the rules before you make signings. Honestly, are you expecting to, as I was confirming, to be a message in there, or as you're doing your contract, the little red bar that says, we can't register him. I got none of that at all. So I don't know if it's potentially a bug that I can't register him after selling them, or if it is actually the case. But I would have thought we'd have got some warning at some point. I got none of it, but I didn't do my research, so that's on me. Now we move on to the PS5 Super Cup. We get 5 points for winning this, and you can see on screen, win it we did. We beat Inter Milan 3-0. Haaland, Chiesa and Morata scoring for us in this one. It's a weird one because it happens in the middle of January. Obviously, we're sort of used to being in England and Community Shield being the first game. This is just randomly thrown in middle of season. We were dominant, really. I mean, I know it doesn't particularly show it in the stats, them having 16 shots, but only 4 on target. Then we had 11 on target. We were just so good in this game. Chesney getting man of the match with an 8.4. I don't know why, because he only had 4 saves to make all game. But yeah, we just fantastic in this game. And it's a trophy. I can't say it's not a trophy. It's a Super Cup. We don't care about that at all. Nice little bit of momentum. And yeah, I mean, it's nice to beat a rival team as well. So, and also get myself 5 points. The Coppa Italia next. Can't remember where we entered. Did we enter in the third round? We must enter in the third round, where we played Perugia, who is one of our affiliate teams, and we actually struggled in this game. We beat them 1-0. Haaland with a penalty, Weston McKennie going off injured. We played pretty much our strongest team available and struggled against these, who are Serie B, so the division below us, and we really struggled against these.
Yeah, 2 shots and 2 on target.
Yes, they did. We had 21 shots and 9 on target. This has been an issue that I've seemed to have found with Juventus. I really cannot seem to score goals. I dominate most games, but I just can't score, and that's even with Haaland in the team. And when we look at the stats, you'll see how he's done later on. But I don't quite understand it. I have
This is
changed my
this is
tactic.
this is a Liverpool stats thing, isn't it? You know when you play
Dominant,
like lower
yeah.
clubs in FA Cup and things like that, and you've either drawn and it's gone to like penalties, or it's gone to previous years it's gone to like a second replay, or you've only just won by 1 goal, but you've had so many shots but so little on target.
I mean, all game we had one clear-cut chance, only 56% possession, only 2.22 on expected goals. So it just wasn't a great game for us, but a victory, and that is all that
Yeah.
really matters. The quarterfinal hasn't happened yet, but we've been drawn against Atalanta, so we're really going to have to step up against them in that round. I'm sure we don't play any early. We don't. So yeah, not much to report on the Coppa Italia at the moment. Again, one of these competitions that starts pretty late in the season. We'll go to the Champions League next in the group. I had a relatively easy group, so I thought. I finished second behind Villarreal, only beating out Monaco on head-to-head against them. 9, 8, 8, and 7 is the points tally in our group. If we just take a look at Group F, when I can get to the drop-down working. On that tab, that I know what I'm doing. I know how this game works. We drew 1-1-1, 1-1-1, 1-1 with Villarreal in the first leg. Kulusevski put his head, Moreno equalised. We then lost 4-2 to Porto. Completely outclassed in this game. 2-1 defeat against Monaco. I had 1 point from 3 games. And I was worried. Very, very worried. I thought I'm going to go out. We then managed to beat Monaco 2-0, sort of pull us back into it. Beat Porto 2-0. And he went into that game against Villarreal knowing that I needed a result really to go through. Monaco fortunately beat Porto and we drew 0-0. If Porto had won that, we'd have been in the Europa League. But we scraped through. Atletico went out to Zenit. Atalanta went out, obviously very, very tough group for them, but decent Italian team there going out as well. Barcelona dropping into the Europa League, behind Sporting and Milan. And in the first knockout round, we've got Bayern. Given our performances so far in this tournament, this is probably going to be as far as I go. Admittedly, I have sold the left back, and the left back can play against them. Yeah, it's not great. Standout tie has to be the same tie as it was in real life. Real Madrid and PSG. Massive game there. Dortmund against Liverpool, obviously Klopp. Derby. Sporting against Man City. That sounds familiar as well.
Chelsea Inter's.
Yeah, Chelsea Inter's a tasting war. Manchester
Especially
United, Sevilla.
Lukaku going back to his favourite club.
Yeah. Leipzig Milan should be a decent game. And then Zenit Villarreal as well. It's a game that either team could really win. So it's going to be very, very interesting. Champions League. We are going to have to do something special if we want to get past Bayern.
It's
Obviously,
over 2 legs, so that's a bit of an advantage if you can.
it is. Bayern are currently 15 points clear in their league, the
So
20
they're not
games.
performing very. And only
So,
47 goal difference.
yeah. I mean, Lewandowski's only scored 14, so, quiet season for him. It's going to be tough. Very, very tough in the Champions League. But, I mean, we'll see what we can do. Who knows? Like you say, it's over 2 legs. All we need, really, is one good game and one average game. So, we'll see what happens there. And then the league. We are top of the league by only 2 points ahead of Lazio. Inter Milan only 3 points behind us, and it's a 10-point gap between us and Milan and Napoli in 4th and 5th. So they are very much still in this hunt, as are Sassuolo and Atalanta as well. It's pretty tight up there, but we currently have that advantage looking to bring that title back to Juventus. Obviously, Inter Milan won it last season. You see Haaland is top scorer in the league with 24 goals so far. 9 clear of Berardi. I do just want to check. Yeah, I thought so. Jose Mourinho was sacked in November by Roma. So, I've got nobody to fight with now.
I'm sure you'll find somebody.
Oh, yeah, definitely will. Kaiser top on the assist chart. Chesney joint top on clean sheets. Haaland top on man of the match. Second on average rating as well. So, we're performing pretty well in the league. But it is only 2 points ahead of Lazio. We're having a fantastic season themselves. You think of Italy and you think, they're one of the upper teams, but not really a team you expect to be challenging. Especially when you look at the gap between like us and Milan and Napoli, you sort of expect Lazio to be down there. So they're having a great season and they are keeping us keen. Obviously, we have played 2 league games so far at the first update, and we got 1 point. We also lost in Venezia. Yeah, Alexandro sent off for us as well. We went ahead and he scored 2 late goals to give us a win, and that forced a change in tactics. I was playing obviously the back 3 with wing backs, defensive midfielder, and then everyone else attacking. We switched back to that tune the travels tactic, and I mean, you can see the league results. They've been a lot better. Some pretty big wins as well. 4-0 over Lazio as well, considering where they are in the league. 4-0 over Torino, Spezia, Empoli, Bologna, Calgary, Venezia. We've got a lot of 4-1s and 4-0s in there. There's one game though that I want to point out, and it may not look like much. It's this one against Salernitana, Haaland hat-trick, 3-0 victory. They had 3 players sent off. I had a little check before we started recording this. I had a little scroll down just like this. We had 1 player sent off. Opposition teams against me had 10 players sent off this season. There's another 2 there, Spezia. There's just the odd spatter into red cards. 3 in that game, 1 in that game. So yeah, 10 red cards for teams against me so far this
Was it only
season.
3-0 if they had 3 sent off?
Because we can't score goals. Haaland actually missed a penalty as well in this game. So yeah, we've loaded up the game and had a change in skin. We had a little bit of a crash. So we've gone back into it and loaded up again. And do you know what? We weren't actually, that dominant. Well, we were dominant, but not ridiculous. 17 shots, 7 on target. XG of 3.33. Considering they had 3 players sent off, only 1 goal came after that. Haaland missed a penalty as well, before scoring a penalty. So yeah, I mean, to be fair, when you look at even most of the average ratings, we were average at best, but just the 3 red cards really stood out. Sortia getting
only 7 shots on target.
Yeah.
After they've had 3 sent off, I'd be pissed at my team. I'd be throwing a water bottle even though we won.
Sortia with 2 yellow cards in 8 minutes. Koulibaly booked in the 59th minute and then getting a straight red 7 minutes later. And then Gomba thought, do you know what? I feel sorry for these guys. Let's have one as well. Got himself sent off as well. So yeah, I mean, people just can't seem to keep their heads against us this season. Just so many red cards, and yeah, I mean, we've gone on a really good run. Disappointing result against Sassuolo. We actually went ahead in the 93rd minute, and then a minute later they equalised again. That was annoying. Very, very annoying. I mean, we did it to Verona, you know. They went ahead, and then literally a minute later, it was basically straight from kick-off. Ireland was like, oh, you've had your fun now, we're going to score as well. 2-0 up against Genoa, we threw that away. I was fuming with that, if you know what I mean. Yes, I went there. But yeah, it's been a pretty good season so far. I just need to keep it up. But yeah, like I say, we don't actually have that many league games in the second half of the season compared to what you have in the first half. So we've got the Coppa Italia, we've got another 3 games in that if we get through to the final. Champions League, is it 7 games in total from here to the final? So still plenty of football to be played should we get through to both finals. And we sort of hope that we will get through to both finals because we kind of need them points. But it's going to take a look at how the players have been performing. So, I mean, it's going to be no real surprise, is it, who the top scorer is? Haaland with 28 goals and 4 assists from 31 games, 27 starts, 4 sub appearances. I brought him in to score goals. He's been doing just that. Interestingly, Morata being the second top scorer with 14. Now, that player that couldn't score for all his time in England. And
I did notice that I'm not saying all of his goals, but when you were showing the schedule, I did notice that a lot of his goals was penalties anyway. At some point, or not a lot of his goals, but he
you
was
still got
taking
to
penalties.
score him.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, obviously Haaland is the main penalty taker, but if there's one thing I have to say about Haaland is his natural fitness is shocking. You play like 2 games and then he's like, oh, I'm tired, I want to rest, I need a rest. You're 21 years old. Man up.
Yeah, but have you seen the way he runs?
True. And
It takes a
obviously,
lot of physical effort.
obviously in real life he has got a fair bit of injury issues, so maybe that is reflected in the game as well. But yeah, I mean, he's brought in fantastic returns. 10 assists for Chiesa, double figures, 16 goal contributions in total from 27 goals games. I mean, he's a very good player. He is a very good player, a player that I really, really like in real life. Obviously on loan from Fiorentina, joining permanently in the season. He's been absolutely wonderful on that wing. He is one that's improved since that change of tactic. I just tried this tactic and it just didn't work. Juventus, so we switched and it has worked. And you can see in the average ratings, we've got a lot of players above a 7. It's like 12 people in total. Arthur Moise Keane just behind. Your guy Kaya George has played 5 games in total, a goal and assist as well for him. But we do seem to have, a fair few goals sprinkled in the bar. I've got a pretty small squad. So a lot of players have scored. And obviously a couple of players that went out have scored as well. So I'm pretty happy with this team. I haven't particularly rotated enough. You see by some of the players' sub appearances: 14 for Weston McKennie, 17 for Trio, 10 for Arthur or Otto. I suppose it's probably that into being Brazilian, but Arthur. So yeah, I probably need to rotate a bit more. But I think I've got a pretty good team. Obviously, the standout player this season being Alphonso Davies. Absolutely superb in his 6 Champions League appearances before joining the club. What an idiot.
There is one thing that I've only just realised, and I can't believe I didn't realise on the last video. But you've stuck with the keeper.
I have. One of the reasons for that is I spent all my money on Bellingham and Haaland, so I couldn't afford a new goalkeeper.
Well, in this January transfer window, you could. Oh wait,
I could have signed him because he is EU player, so I could have signed him. I mean, being honest, I quite like Chesney.
yeah.
Actually, former Arsenal goalkeeper, where he had the Arsenal goalkeeper's curse, which is well and truly a thing around there. And then he's moved to Italy, and he was fantastic for Roma, and he's been incredible for Juventus. 19 clean sheets in 31 games, 20 conceded, almost as many clean sheets as he has conceded. And I know you sort of expect that from a team like Juventus, but like I said, there's some very, very good teams in Italy. So yeah, I mean, I was very, very happy to keep him. Obviously, if he does get injured now, my backup is Franco Israel, because I sold every other backup goalkeeper, which is a bit of a worry. I won't lie. But I mean, I'm sure I can find someone else in goal. I'll stick Kyle George in goal. Goalkeeper rating of 3. Perfect. Um, I mean, I have purposely come to for a reason because obviously he's one of your favourite players in the game. Being honest, if I hadn't been selling players to try and, get that European place free for my team, he probably would have gone out on loan. Try and get some game time. I think he's had a couple of injuries. But totally fine, most of that he starts with. I can just have one injury then. But because I've got such a small squad really now, he's going to have to stay. Probably going to have to play some games. Like I say, Haaland, he's just not fantastic at playing rubber games. And considering his natural fitness is 19, stamina is 15, which is still pretty good. It's just every 3 or 4 games, he's like, no, I need a break, I need a rest. I've been
I mean,
sort
the
of
second
forcing him
half of the
through it.
season, as you've said, the second half of the season, it's there's not as many league games anyway, so it just
Yeah.
depends how you're doing the cup. So it might be okay, but it's still not good when your main striker, the one that you've paid all the money for to score goals, can only play a couple of games at a time.
I mean, he's very injury prone as well. Obviously, the only one that's actually happened in the save was the pulled groin, and that's before he moved towards. But for a young lad, 21 in game, so he'd be 21 in real life as well. He's out in real life as well, or he's just coming back from injury. All this talent. I mean, everyone knows he's a world class player, but he's going to be enough Michael Owen. Hopefully not for me, or if he is, he can do whatever he wants after this season. Hopefully he's going to get through the rest of this season and bang in some goals.
Can I just ask where you're playing Bellingham? Because I'm just having a look. He's played 18 starts and 9 sub appearances, but his goal contribution is very poor.
He has sort of
The money that
played
you paid for him.
all over the place. That one? I know there is a screen that shows you. A lot of the games he has been playing either as that advanced playmaker, but mostly as a ball-winning midfielder recently. Which I think,
I don't know. I guess
yeah, I
it's
mean that is
expected a bit more
actually
from him.
one of his best roles, apparently, the ball-winning midfielder. Which I mean, I sort of didn't really expect when I brought him in. I did really want him to be that playmaker, but he's actually been a pretty good player for breaking up, developing moves, and does it show you on here? 83% tackle win ratio, 30 from 36, 27 interceptions as well. So he has been doing that really well. Average of 64 passes a game. I would like a bit more from him creative wise. You're perfectly right with that, but I've been pretty happy with him. Like I said, I've been focusing more down the flanks. That's sort of how I like to play. If I just flick over to my tactic, see my wings are the attacking bit, and then the midfield and centre of the pitch is sort of the solid, structured part.
Yeah.
Normally, Kulusevski is playing where Bellingham is. Bellingham's playing where Arthur is. But he needed a rest himself, so he had to rotate for that last game. It's a little bit disappointing to see that Morata hasn't got more assists, considering Casey was doing the same on that side, but then Morata was also scoring more than Casey. So we've got, I think, a nice balance in the team. But yeah, that is what I switched to. I don't even have that other tactic loaded anymore. It was just that bad. I'm like, no, disgusting. Leave me alone. But yeah, it's going to be interesting going into that second half of the season. See if we can, continue at the top of the league, maybe extend that gap a little bit more, be able to rest players in the league, focus more on the cup competitions. Atalanta will be very tough. I know they're down in 7th, but only 12 points behind us. So they're going to be tough in the cup. And obviously Bayern.
Yeah.
Not much more needs to be said about that. So yeah, we'll see later this week how things go at the end of the season. And don't forget down below to go and check out Elmo's point of view from his first half of the season. Go and check that out. Go and like and subscribe over there. And we'll be back for the next one later this week. Bye bye.